So welcome back to Orkney, and for the first time ever it's too hot for me. It's the dizzy heights of 18 degrees. It's unbelievably hot. So I'm doing my first ever Reflex / Eco Cars video in a shirt. Seat Me or the Volkswagen E-Up. I'm going to ask you a question. Are you a badge snob? I'm of a generation where, you know, pub talk of blokes, you'd hear things like, I'll never touch a Vauxhall, they're rubbish. And he'll be chatting to someone who's got a Ford, he's had a Ford Cortina all his life. Oh, Fords are the best things ever, I'll never touch a Vauxhall. So you do get this brand loyalty. And so if you had a choice between a Volkswagen E-Up and a Seat Me, which is basically the same car, which one would you go for? Well, I'm going to give you some stats because we've just bought this for a customer here on Orkney. So this little Seat Me is on a 21 plate, just like the Volkswagen E-Up, which is one of our demo vehicles. And just to give you some idea, it has 5,700 miles. We bought it for £10,900 for our customer, including the fees and our bit on top. It was £11,760 to the customer. The transport here to Orkney, as you can appreciate, I think it was bought down south. Had to get up to Aberdeen, and then from Aberdeen on the ferry to here to Hatston. So that came to £816. Basically, our fee as Eco Cars, with the search fee as well, was £480, including that. So that has been our profit margin on this vehicle. So just under £400 plus the VAT. So we're not greedy, we just want to get you into the cheapest EV possible, and these represent great value for money if you can look past the badge, all you Volkswagen lovers out there. So what I'm going to do is show you the differences. Now, we've had a look on the website, on the internet, and basically 90% of the parts on that are on that. So what bits are basically not on that are on that? Well, this doesn't have the reversing camera, which is a little PD screen. Obviously the front end's different, but from the wing backwards, it's the same car. And in my opinion, I think the interior looks far nicer. It's a lot lighter, it's got a more airy feel, there's more sort of, just looks funkier, and it's a cracking car. These both have a 37 kilowatt hour total sized lithium ion battery with 33 usable. Now, the other great thing about both of these cars, they're both running on the same tyres, they're both the same weight, is they're super efficient. And I'll put a screenshot up now. I've just picked this one up from the other office in Stromness and brought it here today, averaging 6 miles per kilowatt hour, which is just bonkers. So super efficient, that's super efficient as well. So let's go for a quick run out in the E-Up, because that's our demo car. Won't take the customer's car out for obvious reasons, but that's going to now go in the garage and wait for his collection tomorrow. So how do you move and how do you drive a Volkswagen E-Up or a Seat Me? You get one remote and then a blank key as a spare. So key in the ignition, foot on the brake, turn and hold till you hear a bing bong, and then release the key. That's you started. Got a normal handbrake. Just turn the fan down a bit. It's got air conditioning as well. So from P down to neutral, and then D for drive. I'm just going to manoeuvre around this tight spot in the car park. Move it up for reverse. Again, on the E-Up we get a little reversing camera, but just reversing sensors. You get reversing sensors here, but just reversing sensors, and no camera on the Seat. But as you see, the camera's pretty small anyway. I'd still take the Seat over the Up, to be honest. But they both drive exactly the same. So up to a certain speed you get that artificial whirring noise. That's just a pedestrian warning system noise. And power assisted steering. And it's really sprightly. It really moves. So yeah, great little cars. The gear stick arrangement, you've got regen braking, so you've got B for extra engine braking and the car pulls back, and then you can move from level 4 to 3, 2 and then level 1, so you can adjust the regen braking on both the Seat and the Volkswagen e-up. So like I said earlier, it's a really nice day today. Got the dizzy heights of now 20 degrees, positively sweltering for Orkney. Now I quite like the dashboard on both cars. You've got this blue area with the speed, so where the blue area starts to taper off is around 45 miles per hour, which is the optimum speed for any EV to cut through the air. It's just basically the laws of physics. The faster you go, the more air you've got to push out of the way, the more energy you're going to use. So the sweet spot is between 15 and 40 miles an hour to get the maximum range out of what the remaining capacity is. It's all down to drag coefficient. Now some EVs, you know, they're really slippery through the air and you'll perhaps be able to cruise at a slightly higher speed, but generally 45-50 miles an hour is the sweet spot for all cars, pushing the air out of the way. Like I said earlier, this little Volkswagen e-up, I've been averaging nearly 6 miles per kilowatt hour between here and Stromness today. So again, moving back to the dials, you've got this blue area where the speed is, but also when you're asking for more power, you've got another dial on the left hand side of the central binnacle, and that tells you basically when you're charging, when regen, you get into a green zone, and then when you accelerate, you've got these blue segments to denote you're drawing energy. Go past the blue segment, which you can do, gives you all the beans, but obviously you're wasting energy. Well, I'll do that now. There you go, right up to 10. It really picks up. I'm already up to 70. So yeah, very refined. I think these are cracking little city cars and great value for money. So if you want to test drive one of these, we've still got one of these as a demo car here at Reflex Eco Cars down at Hatston. And if you're considering the Seat Me, great value for money, give the guys a call and they'll give you a run out in this very car. So there you go. So in conclusion, cracking value for money. Now we just ran off some figures and looked at recent auction prices for the Seat compared to the Volkswagen e-up. People have paid roughly £3,000 more for the Volkswagen badge. I don't understand that, to be honest, because it's the same car. They're both built in Slovakia. They both have the same running gear, the same efficiency, the same size motor, the same stereo system. They're identical, but people are prepared to pay £3,000 more for a Volkswagen badge. That's brand loyalty for you. There you go. So don't roll your nose up and go, "Oh, we don't want to see it. It's a Spanish brand." No, it's not. It's part of the Volkswagen group, built in Slovakia. Cracking value for money. Right, I'll just end with this, just to give you some ideas of the values. Last week we saw a 22 plate Volkswagen e-up with 4,000 miles, sold at auction for £13,800. That was 10.9. We saw another one with 2,600 miles on the clock on a 22 plate, a Volkswagen e-up, sold for 15.4. This 5,000 miles on a 21 plate, okay, 6 months older, 10.9. No comparison. Go for the Seat. Anyway, if you've been watching, thank you, and see you next time.